3 months ago, Windows 11 PCs around the world stopped booting after a routine security update. And the Microsoft you know today isn't the one that shipped that disaster. If you installed the January patch and watched a black screen tell you your device ran into a problem, you weren't unlucky. You were one signal in the loudest user backlash Microsoft has faced in a decade. And now, weeks later, the company has done something strange. It has publicly admitted defeat. It promised to rebuild Windows 11 around what it calls customer love and reversed years of decisions you have been screaming about. So what actually changed? Why now? And should we trust any of it? Stay with me, because the answer matters more than the headlines suggest. Let me show you the timeline, because the scale of January's failure is the whole reason Microsoft is suddenly listening. On January 13th, Microsoft pushed out the routine Patch Tuesday update, KB5074109, build number 26200-623, a mandatory security patch covering roughly 100 known vulnerabilities. Within days, reports started flooding the support forums. PCs running Windows 11 versions 24H2 and 25H2 were hitting a black screen at startup with the stop code unmountable boot volume, which in plain language means the operating system can no longer find or trust its own drive. Your computer was alive, your data was intact, you just couldn't get in. Microsoft's response was telling. The company released not one but two emergency hardware updates, KB50704 and KB5078127. According to reporting from Mayank Parmar at Windows Latest, neither one actually fixed the failure. Affected users had to manually drop into the Windows recovery environment and install the security update by hand, which, if you've never done it, is roughly the digital equivalent of opening up your car's transmission to the debug is not the only failure. Taras Burya reported that the same January update broke shutdown and hibernation of PCs with secure launch and neutral security were enabled, running the most security-hardy machines to the highest stakes with no downtime. Daniel Levine achieved the better sample, launching Patch Tuesday. The second preview update, KB50711, was rolled out and quietly a couple of days later the users hit a different installation. One calendar month, 73% desktop market share, used by roughly 1 billion people, shipped an update that bricked machines, prevented shutdowns, broke Outlook Classic, broke File Explorer customization, broke S3 Sleep, broke Citrix Director, and broke remote desktop sign-in. The patch is meant to fix those bugs, introduce new ones. That's the technical picture. Here's the part that turns the technical picture into a privacy and trust story. While Microsoft engineers were apparently struggling to keep PCs bootable, the company was simultaneously rolling Windows Recall out to more Copilot Plus PCs. Recall, in case you missed the original outcries, is a feature that takes screenshots of your desktop every few seconds. It indexes everything visible, every email, every message, every banking session, every password manager entry, every private moment, into a searchable local timeline. Microsoft has called it the photographic memory for the PC. Independent security researchers have called it an operating system-level keylogger with visual recording. Microsoft made it opt-in after the first wave of backlash and added encryption and secure enclaves. But the feature still exists, still ships on new hardware, and still depends entirely on your trusting Microsoft's storage decisions on a system that 4 weeks ago couldn't reliably boot. Now think about what that means for you. The same company that couldn't keep your machine running through a routine update is asking you to let it record everything you do on that machine. The priorities are written into the failure pattern. Stability got starved while AI features got fed. So far, we've covered the January disaster, cascading updates, and the trust gap recall created. Now, let me show you what Microsoft actually did about it. Because for the first time in years, the answer is something other than nothing. Here's the part that bothers me. Microsoft didn't change because they suddenly cared. They changed because they had no choice. In January, Windows and devices posted a problem in language Microsoft has not used about its own product in years. The company needs to improve Windows ways that are meaningful. They said 2026 will be the year Microsoft focuses on what we call influence, performance, reliability, and the overall experience of Windows. Inside Reading, sources told the Verge, engineers have been redirected into a process that relies on teams urgent, environmental stability problems instead of shipping the next feature. Delivery remained the new thing. Customer love, 4 pillars, performance, reliability, quality, and impact. Describe user feedback from users inside communities of Git. And to the company's credit, the promises that followed weren't vague. The taskbar, locked to the bottom of the screen since Windows 11 launched. Despite years of complaints, it will become movable to the top, left, and right. File Explorer will get real performance work. Update controls will give you longer pause windows and the ability to skip and install during shutdown. Widgets will be quieter. The Start Menu's recommended section, the one shoving promotions into your face, will get more aggressive promptings. Paul Thurrott, who has covered Microsoft for over 20 years on hands-on Windows, framed the moment carefully. Promises are real. The roadmap is public. But Thurrott also reminded his audience that Microsoft has made performance promises before about gaming, about BitLocker, about File Explorer, and the issues kept coming back. So why now? Why this specific apology tour in this specific quarter? Look at the pressure points. Hundreds of millions of PCs are still running Windows 10 despite Microsoft's aggressive push to upgrade. Those users looked at Windows 11, did the math on what they'd be giving up, and refused. Apple's low-cost MacBook Neo launched into a market where Windows reliability had become the punchline. Industry analysts at Big O Finance reported February's pivot is being read inside the industry's defensive posture on Digital One. The January disaster wasn't just a bug, it was proof. On the front page of every tech publication, Microsoft's priorities had drifted somewhere far away from the basic promise the operating system should turn on when you press the power button. Think of it like a landlord who fixes the heat. Your tenants start moving out. The repairs are real. The repairs might even be good. But the repairs are not generosity. They are the bare minimum required to stop the bleeding. The ruler himself told The Verge that trust is earned over time. He's right. The question is whether the same company that spent 5 years pushing Copilot buttons around, shipping unbelievable updates, and now spent 5 years pushing the if you felt for the last 2 years that something was off, Windows 11 is getting heavier, slower, louder, more demanding attention, data, you weren't paranoid. You were watching the priorities of the giant company show themselves in the catalog. The internal issue is the boot. So what does this leave you if the person just wants a computer that boots them? You have 4 real options. The right one depends entirely on the Option 1 is to stay on Windows 11. This is the path to most of especially if you like the software running most Windows. It's a layered cleanup. Open settings, navigate to privacy and security, and walk through every panel one by one. General, speech, inking, diagnostics, activity history, search permissions, app permissions. Turn off the diagnostic data sharing you don't need. The personalized ads identifier, targeted start menu suggestions, cloud-based clipboard if you don't use it. If you're on a Copilot Plus PC, find the recall toggle and decide consciously whether you want it. Go to Windows Update, set your active hours, and use the new pause controls Microsoft is rolling out this year. None of this requires admin tools. Total cost is $0. Total time is about 30 minutes the first time, and the difference in how the machine feels is immediate. The trade-off is honest. You're still on Windows, you're still receiving updates from a company whose recent track record speaks for itself, and you're still one bad patch Tuesday away from another bad week. But for a lot of people, this is the realistic answer. Option 2 is to move to a stripped-down Windows variant like Windows 11 LTSC or IoT Enterprise. This is the path Microsoft doesn't really want you to know about. LTSC stands for Long-Term Servicing Channel, the version Microsoft sells to hospitals, ATMs, factory floors, and anyone who cannot tolerate the consumer update cadence. It ships without Cortana, without the Microsoft Store, without most of the AI features, and with a far slower update cycle. Performance is consistently better in independent benchmarks. The licensing situation is genuinely complicated for individual users, since LTSC is for enterprise customers. So this option is best suited for small businesses, multi-selling users, people willing to research the legitimate purchasing events. The trade-off is real. You give up some app compatibility, and you take on the responsibility of understanding what you're licensing. But what you get back is the Windows you remember from before the operating system started selling next year. Option 3 is to do it. Keep Windows 11 in one partition for the apps you genuinely need, and install Linux distribution on the second partition for everything else. This is the path I personally take, and it's the most underrated answer in this whole conversation. Shrink your Windows partition by 60 or 80 gigabytes, boot from a USB stick for the distribution like Linux Mint, install it alongside Windows, and then on choose its start which one you enter. Browse, write, code, watch, communicate, all of that goes on Linux. A handful of Windows only apps you can escape in a specific tax program. Everything you need to check out the enterprise you can. Still what you need. Cost is $0. Setup time is about an afternoon. The trade-off is the learning curve and the discipline of actually using both systems instead of defaulting back to Windows out of habit. Option 4 is to migrate fully to Linux. This is the option people are most afraid of and least informed about. The Linux of 2026 is not the Linux of 2010. Distributions like Linux, Mint Cinnamon, Pop! OS, and Fedora Workstation install with installers that are arguably simpler than Windows setup. Most things you do on a computer, web browsing, email, video calls, document editing, LibreOffice, browser-based Office, photo editing in GIMP or Darktable, music, streaming, even most Steam gaming through Proton, all of it works out of the box. You will hit a wall on a few specific applications. Adobe's Creative Suite still doesn't run natively. Some pro audio software is Mac or Windows only. Certain enterprise tools assume Windows authentication. If your livelihood depends on those specific tools, this option isn't for you yet. But for the broad middle, students, writers, developers, casual users, retirees, families, Linux in 2026 is genuinely viable. And it costs nothing, forever. No telemetry by default, no ads. In the start menu, no recall, no swarming engineers, no apology tours. Just an operating system that does what you tell it. A few honest disclaimers before we move on, because this is the part most channels skip. None of these options are linked to your security. Windows Defender on your staying. The settings I'm describing are about telemetry, advertising IDs, and unwanted features. They are not about disabling protections that catch malware. Second, if you're in a managed enterprise environment, your IT department controls many of these toggles, and you should not be able to do it yourself. Third, Linux, taking responsibility for your backups, driver troubleshooting, and your own software where Windows somewhat hides from you. That's a feature, not a bug, but it's a real shift in posture. Choose the option that matches the relationship you actually want with your computer. There's something bigger going on here than that update or one feature you didn't ask for. The reason January 2026 mattered, the reason Davider's apology mattered, the reason millions of people are now seriously asking whether they should still be proposed, all of it traces back to one principle. Your machine returns. Microsoft's terms, advertiser terms, RDI training terms. Yours. For a long time, the assumption was that you had no choice. The operating system came with the computer. The features came with the operating system. The data collection came with the features. And the only path forward was to accept whatever the next update decided you needed. That assumption was always wrong. 2026 is the year it's finally publicly breaking. You have hundreds of millions of people quietly refusing to upgrade from Windows 10. You have a leader of Windows publicly admitting the company needs to earn trust back. You have Linux distributions polished enough that your parents can use them. You have the option to harden, to strip down, to dual boot, or to leave entirely. None of these options were as accessible 5 years ago as they are right now. You started this video frustrated about a company that broke your computer and told you it was your fault. You're ending it with 4 concrete paths and the knowledge that you're not the only person walking down them. There are millions of us, hobbyists, professionals, parents, students, who decided that the default isn't a destiny. You don't have to accept what Microsoft ships. You don't have to feel guilty for caring about this. You don't have to be a hacker to take back control. You just have to decide. So drop the comment and tell me where you land. Staying on Windows 11 and hardening it and relying on LTSC? Are you dual booting? Or are you finally making the jump to Linux? I read every reply. The conversations under these